Hi.
Yo,
Yeah, tonight we wanted to jump on real quick, do a little impromptu, and just go over some of the craziness that has happened over this last week. Y'all blowing up one of my videos. When I say blow up, I mean like 150 views. Nah, we at what, like 300, 400 views first day and a half. So that's blow up for me, for this channel, and just some of the things that have happened. And we gonna also talk about the future. Christmas is right around the corner. I know some of y'all can't wait to go broke, but hopefully, if you
go
watch
broke
this,
is crazy.
I know some of y'all can't wait to go broke, but hopefully, if you watch this live stream, and if you're watching on replay, you reconsider.
Mm.
So we're gonna kick it off by talking about the 50-year mortgage, right? Or what I like to call, uh the I guess they want to maybe try to do it in 2026. I like to call it the poor people's trap, because that's essentially what it is. It's taking people who cannot afford a mortgage right now and getting you to a point to where you're maybe paying $200, $300 less a month, but you're paying more interest over time. That's essentially what it is. So, for those of you who are unaware, lived under a rock, never looked at getting a house, there's typically a 15-year mortgage and a 30-year mortgage. Now, 30 years is a long time. With 50 years, though, you're essentially buying 3 or 4 houses after you've already paid it off. 3 or 4 houses.
hmm
And I sit back and I think, are y'all really that desperate to be, I guess, liked by other people, to just fit in? What do you think? Like, when you hear 50-year mortgage, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Reminds me of like a car payment when they give you like 72 months and it's like $300-$400 car payment, but it's over an extended period of time. So we're not gonna make our homes affordable, but let's drag out the debt forever.
And car payments, we'll have to do another live, because if you have a car payment, you might as well just have idiot stamped across your face. And I don't say that for everybody, but for a lot of people, they get these car payments with their tax money, and that's coming right around the corner. They get these cars with the tax money, and then they like, oh, well, I got it. And then what happens? They end up getting repoed. They end up going in debt. They end up getting it on their credit score and then going online, getting scammed by one of these credit scammers, all because you didn't want to drive a car you could afford. But that kind of ties into the 50-year mortgage. That's a good point, because what people are essentially saying when they go get a 50-year mortgage is, I don't want to do the hard work now so that I can get the house I can afford. I just want to go broke later.
hmm
Same thing with the cars.
Yeah.
I don't want to drive a car I can afford right now. I would rather go broke trying to buy a car I cannot afford to maintain, make the car payment, make the insurance payment. This just goes back to, people are insecure with the life they have. I think that's just what it comes down to. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. People want to keep up with the Joneses. They want to look the part, but not actually do the work. So now this is they're dressing this up as we're gonna help people, but you're just making the problem less loud. So the fact that we can't afford homes right now because they're so sky high, people are now like, oh, 50-year mortgage, that's cool. Like, yeah, that makes sense. It don't make sense. It don't
And
make sense.
here's another reason it doesn't make sense. I I hate to say this, bro.
Honda's forever.
We
Lame.
got a comment, said, I'll drive a used car to the day I die. Honda forever. Them Hondas, they'll go. Hondas, Toyotas, they'll keep driving. And guess what? People gonna judge you. They gonna tell you that you need a new car. They gonna tell you that you need to upgrade. They use all these words. You don't need to do anything. You need to keep driving that Honda till you can't drive it no more, and go and invest that money that you would have been putting into the car payment. Invest that into your retirement. Invest that into savings. Invest that into a better life. So, um, where was I? Oh yeah, I hate to
50-year
say
mortgage.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say this about the 50-year mortgage. Um, the way it's looking, some of y'all not even finna make it to 50. I'm just gonna be real.
Oh, facts.
Some of y'all not even, a lot of y'all not gonna make it to 50. And that's considering like if you get a 50-year mortgage at 20, you'll be 70 when you pay it off. If you get a 50-year mortgage, a lot of y'all, the way y'all eating, the way y'all living y'all lifestyle, what I see up on on Instagram, I see the filters. They getting better with these filters, but I can still see when it's AI. I can still see when y'all done
AI
when
is
y'all done did
crazy.
the little AI belly tuck and got
It's crazy.
your front butt up in the shirt and you had AI tuck it. I still see it. I still see it. So people are not people, and that's a good point. Sean in the building said people not making it to 30 years. That's absolutely right. People are not making it to 30 years. They're not going to make it to 50 years. Well, essentially, what I can't even I honestly think this is just something that Trump does. He likes to put stuff out there to get people talking. I don't think this is even going to pass. I don't think this is going to be a
Nah,
thing.
nah. He just out here. I think a lot of the stuff that they're proposing is we're just testing to see if people accept it. And if the people accept it, then we go wrong with it. So I don't even think even him as a businessman, he knows it's not smart. But if people are okay with it, a 50-year mortgage, it's not a bad idea. We can get
I
on the
mean,
come
as a
up.
businessman, it is a smart idea because you get more interest paying someone paying over 50 years. Because here's what people don't realize. They like to talk crap about renting, but what they don't realize is for most of the first 10 years, you're basically paying interest to the bank. What's going to happen with the 50-year mortgage is it's going to go from the first 10 years to probably the first 20 years that you're paying interest. And what we know is that most people move within 5 to 7 years. They only stay
Mhm.
in the same home for about 5 to 7 years. So when you go to
Yep.
sell that property, guess what? You probably don't have no equity in it because you wanted to put 3.5% down. Uh, and you've just been paying interest pretty much. You haven't even paid down the principal. So you're not even
Mhm.
really making any money when you sell the home. And then
Correct.
on top of that, you have to then save up for a new down payment when you go get a different property.
Yep.
So people are essentially just walking into a situation to where they're just going to remain broke. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah. That's something to consider too. Like you do a 50-year mortgage, and let's say you want to move and sell your house. It's I don't think it's gonna be as easy as it is now. I mean, it's not even easy now, but it used to be easy where people could just, sell their house, get a little bit on the back end, it's appreciated. Uh, but a 50-year mortgage, nah, I think you're gonna be stuck with that. Like, there's gonna be no unless you own like a house in like a popping area, LA, you know, Tennessee, kind of the popping city, Chicago. You have a higher chance, but you're gonna be stuck with that. You get into a 50-year mortgage.
And that's a good point. You are going to be stuck with it. People be like, "Well, how am I going to be stuck with it?" Well, let's break this
What
down,
do you
okay?
mean?
Yeah, huh? What do you when you go out and you're looking at the house, you're like, "Oh, I like that bathroom.
Mhm.
Oh, it has a bathtub in the master bedroom. Damn it, sign me up to be broke." And you go to the title company, you're there with your realtor, you're there with your family, you done took the videos of the house already, done got the furniture,
Yeah.
people waiting outside the house, you sign the papers, and then you go move in, you're moving, and then 2 weeks later, not a moment sooner, not a moment later, 2 weeks later, you're going over the paperwork. You're going over the paperwork. Oh, my payment's this, da 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 da. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And then you look at that thing that shows you how much of your payment is going towards interest, how much is going towards principal, and that is the moment you know that you are screwed. That
Mhm.
is the moment you think like, "Oh, if I wanted to sell this house today, I would have to pay money to sell this house." Because you'd be underwater with your mortgage.
Mhm.
Why? Because you have to pay fees to brokers when you go sell your property. You have to pay off certain things. You have to like there's cost to selling your home. And people don't realize that until after the heebie jeebies go away and you in the home and you find that first little, oh, the AC going out, the
Mhm.
AC go,
Yeah.
and you start looking. We got some comments. If you are in the chat right now, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. Y'all counted me out when I was only at 300. We at 1,700, almost 1,800. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all. Let me read some of these comments. Someone said the bank wins. It's smart for banks, not for consumers. That is absolutely right. That is absolutely right. That is absolutely right. Let me see. I'm gonna put a question up. Actually,
Imagine a 50-year mortgage on a house that's not even like up to date. That'd be
oh,
crazy.
but we'll get a HELOC and remodel. we'll get, we'll remodel.
Yo. And I think about like Keith Lee, obviously he got money, right? So he's got money to fix his situation, but all that mold that he has in his house right now and them having to renovate the bathroom, bedrooms, all that stuff, if he didn't have all, if he wasn't financially in a good place, I mean, imagine having that, bro. Like you can't even fix the mold in your bathroom because you end
I'm
up
gonna get
locked in like that. That's crazy.
I'm gonna get to a story that I had when I was a realtor. I'll read some of these comments. Someone said, I'm 21 and hoping to buy a house with a basement
Hmm.
suite soon, and I'll live in the basement suite till I want to start a family. So I think he's saying he wants to buy a house with the basement suite in it. And are you saying he's gonna rent out the other rooms until he starts a family?
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like. That's not a bad idea.
he must
That's
live in
not
the
a bad,
Midwest. That's a
yeah.
Midwest thing
Or
for sure.
and Colorado as well. Colorado has a lot of their houses have basements as well. Not in
Interesting.
Texas really.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that um that do that. And if you can
Yeah,
pull
he
that
from the
off,
Midwest.
yeah, if you can pull that off, that's money in your pocket, especially if
Hmm.
you're around like a college or something like that. Go get them college students a little loan money.
Hmm.
Go get go get this because they'll pay you. You can actually have them pay
And
you up front for the semester. Just
yep.
hey, you get your little refund check, give me the rent for the semester, all taken care of. So that could be a good idea if you're disciplined um and structure it right. Yep,
Yeah.
rent out the upstairs. Sean says, I always told people it's better to rent rather than to buy. If you have to buy, make sure it's a multifamily, never single family. Uh, I wouldn't necessarily agree. Make sure it's multifamily. What I would say is that if you are gonna um, buy something to where you can afford it. It's less than 28% of your income or whatever your monthly income, but
Mhm.
also do your due diligence, make sure that you're getting inspections, make sure that you're looking into it, but also understand that this is not the best investment for you. Like, yes, you can buy a home and it's a good investment if you stay there, but you can also rent and then invest the difference that you would have paid for the down payment and closing costs and stuff like that in the marketplace or somewhere else.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, just don't overpay. Make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you work with a realtor that is, looking at the comps and doing the things that they need to do to get you the best deal. Negotiate closing costs. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna say don't buy a single family because I think that's too broad. But I will say, just be smart about it and don't be emotional about it.
Yeah. And also look in places like I know in Colorado, like Estes Park, for example, is a mountain town, and they got a bunch of houses, specifically cabins, um, that are way more affordable than your cookie cutter house. So you can get, a little cabin with like a mother-in-law suite, and then you can rent that out on probably almost year round because people like to ski. People come there for the summertime. You got the national park, so you want to look in an area that is kind of, if you want to, that's kind of touristy because you could possibly turn it into an investment opportunity. So you could almost get, much of your mortgage paid off if you're smart with it.
Yeah. And I think where people really mess up at with buying a home is, they don't know why they're buying the home. Like they think it's an investment, but for most people, it's not necessarily the best investment. Like if you're buying a home, you should really only be buying it because you plan on staying there for a while and you have some attachment to the community and stuff. And you
Hmm.
shouldn't be going into it like this is my this is my end all be all for an investment. Yes, you want to be smart
Yeah.
about it, but it's also like a home. There's different utility. Like if we're just
Mhm.
talking money and cash flow and stuff like that, if a pile of dirt brings me money, I'm going to invest in it. But a home is going to be a little bit different. It's not just there for the money. Of course, you want to build equity and stuff like that. So you want to play it smart. You don't want to overpay and things like that. But people have to get away from the mindset that their home is their only investment. You should be doing things outside of buying a home to prepare you to live. Like the idea is that you buy a home, you pay it off, and then once you pay it off, you get the money that you would have been paying for the mortgage, you get that back every month, and then you can invest that in other things, or you can pocket that money because you no longer have the mortgage. Of course, you have taxes, but that's the idea. But people refinance out of it and people do all this other stuff to where they never even reach that. So
Mhm.
for a lot of people, it makes sense for them to just rent, to be honest, because they're not actually taking advantage of home ownership in that way.
Mhm.
So it's very weird. Very,
Yeah.
very weird. Let me see. Oh yeah. I promised y'all a story about when I was a realtor. Right? Now watch this. Watch this. This was a long time ago in 2021. A long time ago in 2021. Before I get this story going, make sure you hit the like button if you're in the stream. I'm about to hit y'all with a good story that will help you save thousands of dollars. So hit the like button. I'm giving you thousands of dollars a game right now. You can hit the like button.
For the
All
free.
right. For free.
Yeah.
All right. So when I was a realtor, there was a freeze in Dallas, Texas. There was a freeze that hit Dallas, Texas. And what ended up happening during that time was a bunch of investors came in and bought up new property. They built properties and they were trying to sell them. Well, when you're building a property and it's new, no one's really living there yet. So what ends up happening is you put the home on the market, and because no one's living there yet, things may go unnoticed. So there was this big freeze that happened, right? And I'm showing my client's property. This was 3, 4 months after the freeze happened. Showing my client's properties. This is a new home. And this was around the time where people were saying, don't get inspections on the home because if you get an inspection, the seller is going to pass you up. They're not going to want to sell you the home because the market's just flooded with people that want the home. You're not going to be in a good position. I
Mhm.
pretty much required all my clients to get an inspection. So we go to this house, nice house, nothing wrong on the surface. We're walking through the home, everything's good. Time to get your inspection. Okay, we don't necessarily want an inspection. Get the inspection. Pay for the inspection. Inspector comes out. He's doing the inspection, and they have this tool that they can use to recognize moisture. So he's pointing the tool up, and he sees like a big puddle of water up there, like in the ceiling and on the ground over here. You would never know if you were just looking at it. This is a brand new home. What we found out was that the pipes had busted during the freeze and no one knew about it. There was water in the floor
Mhm.
and there was water up on top. So not only did the pipes have to be fixed, but the flooring had to be redone. And there were thousands of dollars of damage that would have gone unnoticed if you didn't get a repair. So a lot of people don't get inspections on these new homes. They think, well, it's a new home. What could possibly go wrong? And they try to save that $400 or $500 on the inspection. Don't do it.
Yeah.
These are the small things that add up and make it to where your investment for your home becomes your nightmare because you skipped the inspection. You bought based on emotion. You didn't even check all the faucets to see if the water worked. You was taking a crap one day and realized the toilet don't flush right. Don't put yourself in that situation. And that's what I see happening with this 50-year mortgage. Prices go, the monthly payment goes down, the prices don't. People rush in to try to take advantage of it because people, oh, it's not going to last, and they get screwed over. That's what I see happening.
Yeah, I think people gotta like go deeper. Like that's such a cool talking point of like, well, I'm paying what you paying rent for a house. Yeah, but when stuff breaks in my apartment, I don't pay for it. You have to pay for a plumber to come to your house and fix the plumbing. You have to
Yep.
come and have them fix the windows or fix the gutters or all this stuff if you don't know. And I would say the average home person doesn't know how to do any of those things. So are you really paying less than me?
Not
Truthfully.
really. Even when like in my market right now, rent is kind of lower than what a mortgage would be. Like it used to make sense when you could get a mortgage that was less than what rent was. Then it could justify, but you go get a mortgage
Hmm.
and you're paying more for the mortgage than you would be just paying for rent in
Hmm.
that same neighborhood.
Yep.
And you don't have the headache of fixing stuff like you said. You don't have to
Yep.
save up this huge down payment and you can still take the money that would have gone towards a down payment and you could invest it in your 401k.
Yep.
You could invest it in the stock market. You could save it and buy some other real estate. There's
Yep.
so much more that you can do. But where people mess up at is they go, I'm renting and I'm not going to save. I'm going to go on, what's it? Temu, Timu, or Sheen, and I'm just gonna spend my money. That's where people actually mess up at, and that's where
Yeah.
I think home ownership has the biggest advantage. Is it takes irresponsible people and forces them to save money. If you don't need that,
Yep.
you could put your money elsewhere and be an adult and just have some discipline.
Yeah. And a lot of places, like depending on where the state you live in, like Florida, for example, Florida has hurricanes probably almost every year. Do they hit all the time? Depends on the area you live in, but a lot of those insurance companies are not willing to cover your house for that purpose anymore. Or you're going to be paying such a high policy that it's just not going to outweigh renting. You're going to be spending more money just to keep that house. And if your house gets hits by a hurricane, most of them are saying that's a natural act of God. So if your house gets destroyed, then what? You still owe that money.
I didn't make a hurricane.
Hey,
Uh,
natural act of God, brother.
no one ran that by me.
You might as well stay in your house and go ahead and you know, go ahead. Stay there.
are
See what
you
happens.
are you telling me that banks decided to make a smart financial decision? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me that they did the
Some would say.
research? Are you telling me that they looked at a certain situation and said this doesn't make financial sense and we have billions of dollars and we're still going to dip and you got your little $20,000 saved up and you not doing research? Are you telling me that's what's happening here? Cuz if that's what you're saying, I don't believe you. You're
Mm,
lying.
mm,
You're lying.
mm.
That can't be the case. That can't be the case. They got billions of dollars and they do research, but regular people not.
Man, that's the dopamine rush. Oh, I got a
Yep.
house. It's the title of it. Oh, I'm a house owner. Like, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. That's amazing. If you're in the right situation. If you're not in the right situation, then now that I'm a house owner turns into something negative. Now I hate this house. I should never got this house. I don't want to be a homeowner. And then you're back to renting, or you're back to another house that's smaller but more money. So people just got to pay attention. You got to do the research before you start buying all this crazy stuff.
That's true. And this is a great segue into our next topic, cheating, because I believe if this passes the 50-year mortgage, cheating rates will go up. They will skyrocket. Why do I say that? Because one of the top reasons people get divorced, money issues. And this is a huge money issue. And when you have money issues, that 5'5", thick in the thighs look mighty fine. When
Hmm.
you have money issues and you're a woman, you're having money issues, you may go hook up with old boy now if he helping with this and that. Now, if you a dude and you in a 50-year mortgage and you like, man, I need a family up in here. You may go get with old girl and now, so it's like, I feel like this is going to lead into other things because this is a money thing. And I think people are going to need to hook up with people, get together with people that they don't necessarily love and they don't really like and stuff like that, just to be able to afford to live. And I think once people get into these 50-year mortgages and they feel and they know that they're screwed and they're upside down, we're going to see infidelity. We're going to see we're going to see like society crumbling in front of us, because that's like the home is supposed to be like sacred. It's supposed to be like the last thing, like the American dream. You have your property. And
Yep.
I don't see how we don't see an increase in cheating. We don't see an increase in people doing all kinds of crazy stuff when their financial situation just becomes a nightmare.
Yeah, people will be open to it. I think what we have now is everybody is staying with their exes, their ex-husbands, ex-wives to make ends meet. Then they bring in their boyfriends. So I think it's kind of already being normalized, and then it's just going to become the standard if that happens, where it's we're all boyfriend and girlfriend together in this home, even though this is my
Mm.
ex-husband, this is your ex-wife. Now you
I
bring
did see a
in multiple
video.
partners, all that crazy stuff. That I couldn't. I mean, I've talked to people who stay with their baby daddies and ex husbands, and they're out here trying to get their life on, and it's like you living at home with old boy. What? How that make sense?
Right? It's like that's what's going to end up happening. You're going to have divorced couples living in the same house with their new with their new person, their new boyfriend, their new girlfriend, cuz we got a 50-year mortgage.
Crazy.
People are taking their families out when they got 30-year mortgages. What you think they finna do with a 50-year mortgage? That means if you're 40, the average age that people buy a home now, they said is around 40. If you get a home at 40, that's 90 when you pay it off. Who like
Your kids are gonna be like, if you have a kid around that time, your kid gonna be 50 by the time you pay that. That's nuts.
right, you have a kid right today and in 50 years your home
50
is paid
years,
off.
bro.
People are just desperate. People are just desperate to fit in. Like at a certain point, you just gotta like step back and think. You just gotta step back and think. And I saw some numbers the other day that said with the 50-year mortgage, guess how much you're saving each month? Take a wild
Probably
guess.
like 300, 400 bucks,
Around
maybe.
$200. That's the average amount people would be saving. So you're going to put 20 more years on your mortgage to save $200 instead of going on Udemy or going on Coursera or going and getting some certificate to raise your income. That like is desperation.
Yeah.
I like what somebody said earlier. Like, I'll do what I have to do and I'll live in this weird situation where I'm paying less right now until the time is right. But people don't have a plan for their lives and they always feel like the time is right now. They're not strategic about stuff. There's no strategy and it shows.
$200. What's that?
Two.
2,400 a year,
Yeah.
and then what? 120K for 50 years over time,
And you're going to be paying
something like that.
interest on that. You're going to pay more interest over time
So
because the balance is going to take more time to pay off.
yeah, they not even gonna say the 200. They gonna spend that on dinner, clothes, living the lifestyle, the entertainment.
Right. And that's why one of the topics that we're talking about tonight is people going broke for Christmas, because this all ties in. See, people will say we have an affordability issue. There's an affordability issue. That's why people can't get a home. And part of that is true, right? But we also have a spending problem because the same people that were just let me be careful here. Let me be careful. The, the same people that were just how do I say this? Begging for the government to reopen so they can get their food stamps. They will go spend thousands of dollars on these Christmas presents
Hmm.
so they kids with yellow teeth that ain't been to the dentist in 3 years and got cavities could smile. Thank you. Thank you, Mom, for the new Xbox. Can I go to the dentist? It's like, come on, bro. What are we talking about? People don't have their priorities straight. We're like, people are going to go into debt even further for Christmas presents that their kids aren't even going to be playing with in 2 weeks. But I'm supposed to feel bad because there's an affordability issue.
Hmm.
No, I think we need this. I think we need to sit down for a minute.
Yeah.
I think we definitely need to sit down for a minute, and people shouldn't be able to go out and have all this money to spend on things. I think people really need to reevaluate.
Hmm. Yeah, people got to stop putting so much emphasis on holidays and start living your life. You shouldn't wait to the holidays to treat yourself or do certain things with your family or do certain things for yourself. You should be doing that every day. It shouldn't be a, well, this time around here, we're going to be spending all this money. And it's like, for what? I know a lot of people that I talked to, they were more worried about having Thanksgiving dinner than food for the month. And I'm like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
you're worried about having what, 8 hours of Thanksgiving, everybody on social media celebrating, eating the same thing. You're worried about that, then surviving the whole month. And then now you're worried about not getting food stamps for December. This is when they didn't know food stamps for December. So now you're worried about having Christmas dinner. Now you're worried about having presents and your kids are going to be this, your kids are going to be that. And it's like, but you put that on them. You were putting this emphasis on it has to be this special moment and like this is the only time you can get these things.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make sense. You worried about presents over food? Yeah, y'all smoking good dope.
And you know why it's the only time they can get it? Because they're still trying to catch up from the
True.
money they spent last year on Christmas.
Oh,
They just they just getting over the hump. And
mm-hmm.
right as soon as they get over the hump, they right back at it again.
Yeah.
Listen, I I I love my kids to death. Love them to death. But I'm not finna go broke for them. I'm not finna go like y'all just gonna have to understand. If I don't have the money, I don't have the money. And that's it.
Yep.
And if you're raising, I feel like if you're raising quality children, they would understand. But people make it more like complex than it needs to be. My kids got to have this. My kids got to have that. My kid, they got to have everything, but then you want them to be people that have values, that have morals, that are productive and stuff. Like you're the one that told them they needed this to be happy. And then when you don't get it for them because you can't afford it, you feel bad, but you're the one that made them think they needed it.
Yep.
So it doesn't even make sense to me. And this upsets a lot of people because they think I'm being callous, they think I'm being mean, they think I'm just like the stooge or whatever. But it's none of that. If you have the money, go get your kids Christmas presents, go get them Thanksgiving presents if you want to. I don't care. Whatever you want to do, go do that. But at the end of the day, math is still math. And
Yeah.
I think that people let their emotions get the better of them. And so like I'll talk solutions. I'll give you a solution, right? Um if you have kids under 5, it's definitely very easy because as far as the presents go, if you don't sit there and like overwhelm them with stuff, because you can actually get a bunch of things or like get free stuff and just put it in your closet and then just bring it out, slowly throughout the year. And to them, it's a new present, but you were able to get it for the low. And like, so like there's things that you can do. Like we have a closet full of stuff that they've never seen before. I haven't even went through it. And I just randomly go in there and bring stuff out every now and then. And they love it. I just gave my daughter, she was crying about something. She couldn't brush her hair, and I gave her my planner. I had a 2024 planner. I gave her the planner, and she's opening the pages and flipping through it and loves it. It's not that complicated. I
Yeah.
might give her a pin for Christmas this year.
Yeah.
She gonna get a pen and she gonna love that pen and she gonna ask for that pen and she gonna draw on the paper with the pen. It's not that complicated, guys.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Yeah. People
You
need to start making sure that the stuff they buy is productive to their child's life, their life, the um improve their bond with their child. Like for me, when I was growing up, of course we had like the PlayStations and things like that. Like that was the biggest thing that we had in Game Boy, kind of that technology. But the most of the stuff that we wanted was like the scooters, the razors, the
Mhm.
bikes, stuff that we could go outside and do with our friends. I remember they came out with the chopper bike. It looks like a little chopper motorcycle. I had one of them, and we rode that thing everywhere. Any place we could go, we rode it. So if you're gonna get your kids something, like get them a bike, go to the Goodwill, get them a bike, and then that's daddy and daughter time, or mommy and son time, or a family. We can walk the streets and have a walk every night as a family, and they can ride their bike. Like, start involving your kids more into your lives and stop giving them an iPad, an iPhone, these gaming systems, and sending them to their room, because then they are going to isolate and it's going to only get worse from there. And then you're going to be like, well, why did that happen? Well, because you decided to be lazy and give them this present that wasn't really good for their health.
Yep. They hand them the poison and then wonder why they they drunk on it. It's like, you don't have to do that. We got some comments. Sean says, solution: open a trust, start a life insurance policy, make the trust the beneficiary of the policy, then get the policy valued. Once that's completed, go to the bank and borrow against that trust. I mean, there's multiple ways to skin a cat. I think that, it doesn't even have to be that complex, because that to me is more like wealth building. We're just talking about, you don't have to go out and spend and spend and spend to be happy. You don't have
Mhm.
to do that. And I want to come down to human world right now. Like, I want to show a little bit of humanity. I know I get on these videos and I talk like, I'm this callous person and stuff like that. And I don't know what it's like to be a kid and get that video game you've been wanting and stuff like that. I know exactly what that's like. But I also know what it's like to know my parents don't have the money for something and not ask them for something all year, and not even really ask them for anything for Christmas. I know what it's like for knowing we don't have money for new school clothes and not asking for them, and seeing my parents still want to get us them, and me be going, I'm good. I'm good. Because that, to me, that's where you would want to be at. To me, that's the sweet spot. If your parents don't have the money and you know they don't, if they've raised you to be a good person, I feel like you should be able to say, you know what, mom, dad, I know we don't really have the money. I'm good. I appreciate it. But let's, like, say, those are the conversations I think you should be having with your kid if you really don't have the money. Um,
Mhm.
because all you're doing is passing that down to them, and then they're going to do that with their kids. If they don't have the money, they're going to keep spending, and you're not actually helping them when you spend money that you don't have all the time on them, because you could be saving that money, you could be investing that money, you could be doing things so that you don't have to continuously live paycheck to paycheck. Investing in yourself is going to take some sacrifice. The main thing is what you're putting into their minds and in their hearts.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know that's what it comes down to for me.
Yeah. Be creative too. Like my mentor, she has a granddaughter. And what they do for the holidays is that they pick somewhere to go. So they like going on cruises, Disney World, things like that. So what they do for the holidays is that they get donations from everybody for like an animal shelter, and they go donate food. And that's kind of their Christmas adventure type of thing, the present, things like that. And then they talk about what they want to do for a trip. So she's taking her granddaughter on multiple cruises. They just went to Europe and they spent like 3 weeks there traveling Europe, going to all these different places. And that's kind of the mentality that she has kind of molded her into, is that our present can be later on, and it can be something that's going to give you experience. It's going to benefit you not only mentally and physically, but also emotionally, because you get to see how other people live. You get to have these experiences that people don't have because they're so used to buying all these presents. And so they're so used to, oh, it's Christmas time, I got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. But now your kid is ignorant because they don't know about other people in other countries and stuff like that. So be creative, have fun with it. Don't just stick to the norm. Do what you can with what you have. But if you want to do something more grand and spectacular, be creative with it. Have some fun.
And that's exactly right. But the problem there is what you just said, that actually requires connection. That requires people to like look beyond the surface, because there are some people that believe that Christmas is about presents. It's
Mhm,
about them getting something. There are adults right now that are going to be upset that they didn't get a Christmas present from somebody. Grown adults. And see, I don't know if I was just built differently, but I always wanted my parents to feel like they were enough. Like I wanted them to feel appreciated. So there wasn't this pressure from me to be like, go get me this, go get me that. I remember I had saved up 4 months for an Xbox 360, sold newspapers, saved up 4 months. I worked on like the Christmas Eve, and I made like $100, and that put me at like the Xbox was $299. I had like $300. Me, I got my $300, went to Walmart. Hey, any more Xboxes? This is when they were selling out crazy. Oh yeah, we
mhm.
got one in the back. Cool. Comes back, see the Xbox, puts it in my hand. We go to check out. Boop boop. 200 or 300 and 50 $60. Nah, the tag says 299. No, there's taxes. So what does my dad do? He pays the rest. That's the kind of stuff like I'm talking. Like I worked for it. He paid the rest of it. Even though I know he didn't have the money, he did that. Because parents do want to see you get what you want. But at the same time, if they can't afford it, they can't afford it. And I tell that story to show you like that didn't just get instilled, that didn't just come so that was instilled in me. Appreciation. You're not owed anything. It like if you're given something, appreciate it. If someone gives you a gift that you don't like, don't throw it away in front of them. You can wait until they're gone, but always show appreciation because no one has to do anything for you. I think if you instill that in your kids, those conversations will be much, much easier, and you will be in a better place because you won't be going in debt to, I guess, give them things they don't really need.
Yeah, that they're gonna get rid of like a year or two later on. Like if, and this is a kind of a hack for people, if you want to get your kids extra gifts, wait till like the next week after Christmas, because all that stuff's gonna be at the Goodwill. They're gonna return it. It's gonna be on clearance. So just wait, because all that stuff is gonna be somewhere where you can get it for damn near free, or you're spending under $10 on a $60-$70 game, or bike that somebody wanted, and then they got it and they hated it, or they did it for a couple weeks and then the hype of it died down. Now they don't want it no more. So
I'm not
before
getting my kids no gifts. I'm not getting my kids no gifts a couple days after Christmas. That's
hey,
ghetto. That's not
hey,
really Christmas. That defeats the whole point.
hey,
Just don't even get me a gift.
hey, you can have Christmas every day if you want to. You don't have to. You can have Thanksgiving. You could fix you a big feast every other weekend if you want to. You don't have to wait till these special moments. And y'all get played by these companies making so much money off of y'all because y'all think it's cool and it's on sale and a lot of. You're not really saving anything. What, you saving $100? Then you're gonna pay tax. So you only save $50 on an 80-inch TV that you didn't really need, but it looks cool, so you want it. Like,
You got the
get a
80
grip.
inch, got the 80-inch TV, and you ain't even got the surround sound to go with it.
Hey,
But it's cool.
they want to look the part, man.
That's like when I was younger. I tried buying new shoes, but I didn't even have the new clothes to go with this. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah,
Either I'm gonna wear new everything or new nothing.
yeah.
But there is something that people look at me weird for doing. I purposefully take my children to the store so I can tell them no, we're not getting them presents, or no, we're not getting them a toy. I don't let them know that's what I'm doing, but I purposely go to the toy aisle and let them like pick the toy up and stuff just so I can tell them no, we're not getting it. Now, a lot of people would look at that and go, that's cruel. That's mean. Why are you doing that? Because I have the money to get it for them, but I don't want to get it for them because I want to teach them that they're not owed a present. That just because we go to the store and you pick something up and I have the money for it doesn't mean that you get it. Like I want to instill that first. To me, there's orders to it. You need to be able to appreciate anything that I give to you first. Outside of like food and the necessities, you need to be able to appreciate what I'm giving to you. So we're not going and doing all that stuff until you can have an articulate conversation about appreciating what I'm giving you.
Mhm.
So you'll get some things, but you need to know that you don't just get it because I can get it. Some people like, well, just tell them you can't afford it. Just tell them we ain't got the money for it. No, we got the money for it, baby. You're just not getting it today. People have a hard time telling their kids that.
Yeah, people don't know the value of a dollar. They don't teach it no more. Like when I was growing up, the stuff you got, you had that stuff for 10 years, depending on what it was. I mean, clothes was more kind of, if you make it to five, you good. But like PlayStation, computers, things like that, you had that stuff for 10 plus years. Like I had a PS2 prior to I was in damn near probably almost until I was in high school. Like I kept the
Mhm.
PS2. I just played it, and it already has so many games too. So we already spent all this money and invested all this money into it. And then once it kind of died, it died. And then I was like, got my money's worth. I don't think people are teaching that now. And people are just like, well, new iPhone, even though it costs $1,200. And my one that I have right now is working just fine, but I'm gonna go buy it because it looks cool and I need it, and it has one new feature. So now I'm gonna spend $1,200 or be in a payment plan for it now when I could just kept my old phone.
That would be too logical. But I want to leave on a positive note. We're gonna wrap this up soon. I want to leave on a more of a positive note, and I want to say, the conversations that we're having tonight, they're not just to put you down. They're not to put other people down. They're to get you thinking about like what kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to live a life where every Christmas you have to show up and go into debt to provide a lifestyle for your family that you can't afford? Or do you want to actually be able to afford that lifestyle? When you go buy a home, do you want to have to get a 50-year mortgage, or do you want to be able to pay your home off within like 10, 15 years and get something that you like? Like when you go to the grocery store, do you want to be able to buy the food you want to buy, or do you want to buy them because you're on food stamps and that's what you were given? You were given $194 and that's your allotment for the month. Like what kind of life do you want to live? If you want to live the life where you're always in debt and you're begging the payday loan place to give you a little bit of extra money so you can get Christmas presents, then do that. No one's going to stop you. Trust me, they're not going to stop you. They're going to
Mhm.
charge you interest. I'm not charging you anything. We're not charging you anything. All we're saying is whether it's a 50-year mortgage, whether you're thinking about the consequences of going into debt and being in these money issues if you're in a relationship and how that can increase infidelity, that can increase arguments, that can increase, your need to go and seek mental health counseling, like all of these things, they all tie together. And if you're in a position now to start making those changes, make them. You may have to sacrifice in the short term, and maybe you have to go get the Christmas presents this year and play the game, but maybe next year you try something different. Just try something different. That's all I'm asking, right? No games, no nothing. Try something different and see how much you like it. It's less stressful. I'm telling
Mhm.
you that right now. Christmas is around the corner for me. I have 3 kids. I'm not worried about getting
Damn.
them anything. I'm not stressed. I'm not, "Oh my god, we got it." I'm chilling. What are we having for dinner tomorrow? That
Yeah.
good.
Not have to. I want you to feel down about yourselves. I don't know. Fitz said
Mm,
he don't want you. I want you to, because I think you need to feel the shame and the guilt and feel like a failure because you are a failure
mm.
by doing these things. You are setting yourself up and your family to fail, and it's going to be your fault because you can't operate off of your principles and you let your emotions take over every single time. Well, I just wanted them to feel. They don't need to feel anything if they're not a teenager or getting up there and you have kids under 5, it doesn't matter. You don't need to get them gifts. You don't need to do none of that. Just love them. Y'all so busy wanting to give them what you didn't have, which is material stuff, and we all know that material stuff never fills the hole for not being loved by your parent, being neglected. So feel guilty, but then fix it. Figure out how you want to live your life going forward and what you want the standard to be. If hey, I'm gonna make a lot of money, then buy your kids gift. That's fine. But don't do it while you're broke. The worst thing you can give your kid is poverty.
Yep. And that's exactly what you're giving them when you constantly prioritize their happiness over your financial security. Over your financial security. Um, yeah, man. And it's getting to the point where I truly believe like they're gonna have kids going in debt in the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's like by the time you turn 18, you're gonna be in debt
Mm-hmm.
already. We
Yeah.
see it with the student loans. I truly believe that it's gonna go younger and younger. Sean
Yeah.
said free your family. It's true.
Yeah.
Um, you know, $1,500, $15 a month for 200K. I'm assuming that's the life insurance. Uh, yeah, you know, you can um you can change your life. Ty said he said, people are going against their principles. I don't think they know what their principles are. I don't think
Probably
they've
not.
actually sat down and thought about what does financial freedom look like for me? What does, you know, what type of home do I want? What is that? How does that fit into my budget? How does that fit into my lifestyle? Why do I need this home? Um, what am I willing to sacrifice for? Like people aren't asking the important questions because it's available to you. You have Klarna now, you have Affirm, you have all these buy now, pay laters. You have so much access to not doing hard work that you forget that it actually takes hard work. And the
Mm-hmm.
people that benefit, it's not me, it's the banks. It's the people that give you the money. See, when you come to me and ask me for $20 and I'm not charging you interest and I may or may not get my money back, I don't really benefit from that. Guess who's benefiting from you doing that? The banks. When you go ask them the buy now pay later and then you thought that you could make the payment and then you're not, they benefit from it. And they're not going to make a video and tell you to stop doing it.
Right.
They're going to put out a commercial and let you know in 4 easy payments you can pay off this McDonald's meal that you had to get on DoorDash.
Crazy work.
That's what they're going to tell you. And
Crazy
they're going
work.
to dress it up and make it seem like this is a normal part of life. It's not a normal part of life. Listen, we all make mistakes at times. We do financial things that don't make sense, but you have the opportunity to learn and do
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yep. And
Your
stop.
kid,
And for those people who taking these big old trips, stop saying you only live a life once. You only live life once because you going on a vacation, but then you coming back to stress and chaos. So
yep, you're
how
not even
how the
enjoying it.
hell was that worth it? You live life once, but then you coming back to hell. Now you stressing about money. You ain't got no money. You can't pay your bills. Now your kids can't eat. But you went on that trip to Miami though for the
And don't
pictures.
mention it to them either. Don't don't say instead of going on that trip, could you have saved that so you have a month worth of bill money in case something happens? That's too logical of a question. I mean, that's why it feels like I'm shooting in the dark sometimes with this type of content. I know people want to see the reaction videos and keep
Yeah.
watching those reaction videos that I'm making, you driving up the channel and stuff like that.
Yep.
But you know, if y'all can help it, if you can reach deep within your Klarna debit card and help it this holiday season, chop up the card.
Yep.
Look your kids in the face and say, "Hey, I love you. One day I might be able to get you these gifts. I can't get them for you now. I'm going to work and work and work and I'm going to show you what hard work can do.
Yep.
We're in this journey together. All that matters is the love that I give you. Um, and I'm going to show you how to get out of a situation." That's a much more productive conversation than here's a gift that you probably know I can't afford because I'm trying to cover up the poverty and I'm trying to cover up all these other things. Go enjoy your gift. And at a certain point, they probably don't because they know that you can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah,
When did you break out of that? Like
out of
when
what?
you so like for me, obviously I grew up. I probably started remembering when I got gifts probably when I was like elementary school, right? So being a kid, got gifts. But once I got into middle school and up, I wasn't like wanting anything for Christmas. Like there was like certain things that I like headphones, everyday use things that I was looking for, but my want for the gifts kind of decreased after time. So what for you, what age did you kind of like, I don't really need this stuff.
Um,
When would you say that you got out of that? Because I grew out of it naturally.
yeah, I think I remember like it wasn't even like I never really asked for much. It was just
Yeah.
like we got you this for Christmas, we got you this for your birthday, stuff like that, or what do you want for your birthday? But I specifically because there was a point in time where I was getting a new video game for my Xbox like every week. Um and so like I was getting gifts throughout the year and stuff like that and getting things, but I was always kind of taught, you're not really owed anything. And if someone gives you something, then they, like just appreciate it. But I kind of already knew our financial situation early on, so I rarely asked for anything. If it was offered, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll take this new video game. But I started working when I was like 11 or 12. So most of what I wanted, I bought myself. Like we
Gotcha.
didn't really have a lot of money for food. I would go buy myself food and put it in the fridge and label it with my name and stuff like that and put the stuff in the thing
Hard
because
times.
they all had jobs too. Like
Uh,
we all worked like the paper job, but
yeah,
they went and got shoes with their money,
yeah,
and they got this. And I'm like, y'all could go get food too, but so I gotta share my food, and y'all ain't gotta share your shoes with me. So it's like I was
yeah.
like,
It's
hey
true.
man, hey, I want my little Debbie snacks. I want my milk and my ice cream. Like
Yeah,
y'all could get it too, but they didn't want to spend their money on it. So
yeah,
I just like I had to buy my own bus pass. I would be buying my own school clothes. And once that started, it was kind of like then you really see what do you value? Because now I'm spending my own money. I'm getting like 40, $50 a week from this job. And so it's like I don't really want these shoes now. I don't really
right.
want this. The only thing I paid for, I had a Blockbuster pass where I could rent 2 video games at one time. It was like
Nice.
$20 a month, and I could trade them in unlimited. I
Yep.
asked my sister if I could use her debit card because I didn't have one to put it on the Blockbuster thing, and I made sure she got her $20 every month, and that was it. I couldn't afford the video games. I couldn't afford every new video game, so Blockbuster, I can play the new video game and just trade it in for $20.
Yeah,
So I was always like just trying to find a way to make it work. Hey, we ain't got money for you to go to karate today, like for the bus. Oh, that's cool. I'll run. It's 4 or 5 miles away. That's fine. I'm good. Like it was always like, okay, I'm good. We
yeah,
can't give you a ride to school every day. All right, cool. I'll take $120 and buy this mountain bike, and then I'll just buy a bike and go to school. Like
right.
just
Yeah,
I was always focused on solutions and like understanding our financial situation and not trying to make it harder on anybody. So,
right.
you know, I remember one time we were getting kicked out of like this weekly rental that we lived in, and I had like $2. And I remember going and putting the $2 in the car for my dad because we were going to live somewhere else. My dad was going to be staying in the van. I remember putting $2 in the van for him. So it's just like stuff like that. Like I've always been aware that like this stuff doesn't really matter.
Right. Yeah,
And we moved so much that I constantly had to get rid of stuff.
yeah,
Like I'm just sitting there one day and it's like, hey, we moving to Colorado next week. What?
yeah.
What? I done went and bought me like a punching bag. I
Mhm.
done got like an Xbox, and it's like you can only bring one trash bag. That's all they allow you on the Greyhound. So I have to get rid of stuff. So I'm not really the like attached to things like that because I always had to get rid of it so fast.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking about like gifts that I got growing up because when I was growing up, we played football. So like the holidays were centered around that. Like we were in the parades for Christmas. We had Turkey Bowl. So if anybody's from the South, they know what Turkey Bowl is. So we be playing football on Thanksgiving. Like we would eat with our families, but then we go play, or we eat as a team. Everybody's chipping in, so it's like a lot of community based stuff. But I don't remember a lot of the things I got growing up. Like it was probably mainly like socks and clothes, things that I would wear and needed that were investments. Um, I also went through that stage of mom would buy me something, but then we might have to sell it later on to make ends meet. So that was a little bit of a transition. It helped me because now as an adult, I don't have an attachment to things. I do value things like, car and, stuff that I bought from these thrift stores and things like that. I do value them. But if I ever had to sell them to survive, I'm 1000% willing to. There's no second guessing. There's no like, oh, I can't. No. If this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. So I'm thankful for that. But I was just thinking about like, what did we do when I was younger? Because, like you said, my mom got me a bike so I could ride everywhere. We're riding to the skating rink. We're riding to the grocery store. I'm picking up stuff for mom from the grocery store. I'm with my friends. We at their house. I mean, I used to ride to my mom's job and get a free meal. Like, we was just like, we was living, brother. Like, now I
Yeah.
don't think kids have that desire, and it isn't taught because everything's just about how to look flashy. But for me, I was excited just to get some new skates. Like I'm skating down the road in these skates, going to the skating rink. You know what I mean? So it was little stuff like that that made me happy. Crazy.
Same, same. And like I think a lot of parents try to hide it now because they told themselves that will never be me. I'm gonna do better for my kids, and they're not. And so
Yeah.
there's a little bit of shame now. So now you can't be honest with your kid about your financial situation. Whereas like when I was growing up, it wasn't like, hey, we're broke, but it was kind of like, you like you could tell. And so when we're going to the grocery store, like we didn't just go to the grocery store. We like my parents gave us like $10, not us, but like whoever was going to the grocery store, whichever kids, like two of us would go over to the grocery store across the street. We'd get like $10 and it'd be like, go get like some bread and some sandwich meat or whatever and some chips or
Yeah.
whatever we were at. Like we would buy groceries daily because there were 7 kids. And if we bought them all at once, the groceries would be gone like the next day. So we actually had to like buy them day by day because there wasn't enough money to just go grocery shopping all out.
Yeah.
And so when you get sent to the store with $10, you kind of know the financial situation and like you're aware of it. And I don't think a lot of kids are aware of it because their parents try to hide it from them. But I think if you are in a situation, just be real with your kid. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, um, you don't want to stress them out, but I think
Yeah.
that there's a way to have an honest conversation about your like about whatever you're going through and stuff like that, so that they don't feel like it's because of them. There's not resentment. They don't start to feel like I'm a burden, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Because you can do that. They're not gonna be kids forever. Like they're gonna start noticing things,
Yeah. Very,
and
very
you
smart.
know,
Yeah. Observant, very smart. And I think I had that conversation with my mom probably when I got to middle school. Because my mom's single mom, working multiple jobs. So when we got to middle school, that's when we had that conversation because I was a little bit more mature. A lot of my friends were going through similar things. I got to see how they lived. So I was already asking questions. And so we already had to have those conversations that were age appropriate at the time of like, yeah, sometimes you got to make sacrifices for X, Y, and Z. You got to make ends meet doing this, that, and the third. So definitely have this conversation with your kids because they're going to be, if your kid goes to public school, chances are they're going to experience this and see somebody else going through it. So you might as well go ahead and not necessarily get in front of it, but allow them to be hip to the game so that they can be maybe even that person's friend and be, you can influence them a certain way and be able to, you know, bless them in ways you weren't blessed, things like that. So most definitely, because we lived in an open house, so all my friends staying the night, coming over, hanging out. Shit. Half the time, my mom was trying to get them gifts, like nothing like too crazy, but like if she got me a shirt and it was like a 2 for 15, she might get one of my friends a shirt. You know, what I mean, she ain't buying no PlayStation nothing like that because that was a little bit more money back then. But like shoes, like if it was like $60, I think shoes were like 40, $60 around then. You know, mom would try to swing it to to get them their only pair of shoes for school. You know, because I was I was blessed in a lot of ways where I had shoes. I didn't have new shoes all the time, but I had enough to not have to just wear one pair and they get damaged. Other people around me, it wasn't always the same. A lot of my friends lived in the hood, so when they would come over, like it probably felt like they was living in luxury a little bit because we didn't live in the hood per se. We were living in low income housing, but like my mom, if she had extra, she wouldn't mind doing that for people. So, you know, hey,
No, I feel it, and
good
yeah,
times.
good times, good times, good
Hey,
times.
yo, what J. Cole said, I was happier when I was broke.
Yep, everyone was chilling. We got some comments. Said we can literally become the bank. That's my advice. My mother kept giving me tidy whities every year for Christmas. He said I just figured we didn't have it, so I stopped caring. Same. Being better for your kid is getting yourself better mentally, not buying them stuff. Yep. That's the part of parenting I'm looking forward to. The part where I can talk to Junior, give context for a lot of things. Yep. It's it's definitely cool as a parent when you can give context and start explaining stuff and having real conversations. People want to treat their kids like, I'm not gonna say like they're kids, but they want to treat them like they're dumb or they just won't get it or they can't understand. You can understand. I remember having conversations with my dad when I was like 4 or 5, and I was going to the grocery store, and he would be like, here's what you do if someone approaches you, drop the stuff, run, blah, blah, blah. Like real conversations. Here's how the world works. People don't want to tell their kids how the world works. They don't want to have real conversations. They want to shove a tablet in front of their face and have them in a fake world all the time. That's only going to get you so far. Um, but yeah, it's take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. I hope you got some value from this. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, check out the Patreon where there's exclusive content. I will be adding more. Give me some time. I just got the Patreon up. I will be adding more. Make sure if you like this type of content and you want to see me grow, you want to grow with me, go support, join the Patreon. I think it's like $5 or $10 a month. Go join the Patreon. It's not much now, but it will be later. And there might be something special for people that join early and start supporting when the channel isn't as big as it will be one day. I'ma definitely look out. I'ma definitely look. Ty been here from the beginning. And so, I gotta hook him up someday when I get a little bit more than what I'm getting now. So a little bit a little bit more.
It's been a long time coming, man. Since what
2020.
2020? Yeah,
I've been
so
on
almost 6 years. A lot of different ideas, strategies, is
channels.
going through the motions. I was thinking about that today. I saw all those channels. I was like, damn, long time coming, man.
Yep. That's the principle.
Hey, on
You
that
don't
Patreon, people paying for it. What you doing on the Patreon? You shaking ass on there or something?
Nah. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all my skits that I have on here and I'm transferring them to the Patreon so that
Okay.
they're only going to be available on the Patreon. So it'll just give people a little bit of behind the scenes, a different side of me to where, I'm doing skits, I'm doing a little more edgy stuff that maybe, you know, is not going to be the best look for the YouTube channel since it's monetized now. And just diving a little deeper on some of the topics in a more creative way. I'm a very creative person, so I can have an idea right now, and it's the most outlandish idea, and YouTube will flag it. It'll mess up my algorithm because
Ooh.
I just have a random idea about, you know, uh, kids not getting presents this year, and I can make a skit about it, and that can mess up my algorithm because now it's trying to push the video out to a new audience, and it gets confused. I don't have that problem on Patreon. So the people
Okay.
that want to pay the money and support,
Cool.
y'all are gonna get, a different side of me. Y'all are gonna get better content. At a certain point, I'm gonna be putting short films up there. There's going to be
Hmm.
exclusive content, exclusive conversations, just a different side because there's much more value than on the surface. Um, I have a wealth of knowledge, very skilled person, educated, all that stuff. And sometimes because of this platform, it doesn't come off that way. But there's a lot of value that you can, get if you invest into the platform. So, you know,
Interesting.
right now I'm doing what's the most effective. I have a job, I have kids, I have family. Most effective right now is for me to make reaction videos because I could just watch a video, react on the spot, and give it to y'all. And that's what's keeping the engine running. But eventually the content's gonna go deeper, it's gonna be more impactful, and it's gonna be stuff that nobody else is putting out. They're not gonna be able to mess with me. When I hit the scene and I blow up, that's gonna be it. And I'm trying to tell people that.
This
But it's
man turned
cool.
into an OF model.
Nah, it
I
ain't. It
knew
ain't
it,
no.
brother. I
It
knew
ain't
it.
no OnlyFans. I'm
You out
talking
here
about.
OFing on this Patreon,
I'm
brother.
talking about me doing ride-alongs with the cops. Me having a camera and another
Oh,
person, we do a ride along with the police. All you have to do is fill out an affidavit and try to schedule it with them, and they'll let you do it. Scheduling a ride along with the cops. I may go out 3 or 4 times and do a little ride along overnight with the cops, and I'm giving y'all the back and forth conversations with the cops and giving y'all, what I'm seeing out here. So there's content, there's ideas that I have. There's things that are in the works.
yo, I can't wait for that. Wait till y'all
There's
catch somebody. They'll get a car and be
yeah.
like, who is this man in the front?
Nah, I'm gonna
They
make the
gonna
cop
start
retire.
roasting
The
you.
cop gonna be like, "Help me out, Fitz."
They
I'm gonna
gonna
chase.
start roasting you when they get that car, boy.
I'm gonna chase
Yo.
someone down. I'm gonna chase a black person down.
Yo.
Back here.
Hey, imagine if they know your channel. Fitz, is that you?
Yeah.
Fitz,
Go. Are
what are
you
you
signed
doing
up for the
here?
Patreon? Sign up. You not signed up? He over here.
Yo, that's crazy
He,
work, boy.
he over here. We got one.
That's gonna be a good video to see right now. I like that.
I just gotta see if they're willing to let me record. I could do maybe just audio, but I'm shooting for the video. It might be a little difficult because there'd have to be like lighting if it's nighttime. I might
Mhm.
have to do a daytime ride along, but yeah, that would be an interesting one. I'm also going to be acting in a lot of these short films in the beginning because I don't have enough money for actors at this point, and I have a certain vision. So there's certain things that I'm working on that's only going to be on the Patreon, and you're going to have access to that. Um, like I said, I'm building it up. So please be patient, but once it's up, you are going to be glad that you joined.
You ever seen
Appreciate
the
y'all.
You ever seen the movie called The Best Man?
I think so. I've seen clips.
You need to watch it. Watch the original one. I think they got a number two out too.
Is
Talk about
that
the
the one where
acting. Talk about the acting and stuff. He wrote a book about his friends.
I might have to do that?
Oh,
I'm telling you, people don't even know. Like I got all these ideas. I be acting in these skits. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on and popping. Let me start. Let me get my first big brand deal. Let me be able to focus all my time on content creation. And y'all not gonna even want to watch another content creator.
mm.
Get it?
Mark his words, cause he
Yep.
gonna he gonna save this video.
Yep. Bro,
Years
I
from
got
now, he coming
videos
back.
from 10 years back. Like I got a whole library full of content.
Mm.
I just be recording content. I got stuff people don't like. I just be recording. I'm walking, recording. I see this, I see that. I could put the sound on the video and make a whole new video. I could act in the skits. I could be serious. I could get on a live stream. I could do reaction videos. I could sit here and talk and get in a suit and be educated and decimate and debate anyone that y'all put in front of me. I could do it all,
Nah,
and
see
y'all
that?
gonna see. Y'all go, yeah, I got all these different channels. And
uh,
it gives me I think it gives me an edge.
dunk the ball. I know you got a hoop in there.
Let's see.
A black man with no hoop is crazy.
Let's see if I make it. Oh, nope.
Wow.
Oh,
Yo, Kobe.
oh.
Wow. LeBron. Oh, dunk it. Break the rim.
I can't. This is a special rim.
I'm gonna have to get you a new basketball thing. They got
Nah,
one. They got one at Costco.
it's sentimental.
What you mean?
That's my dad's.
This guy, yo, from when?
From like this was in his apartment.
Like he had
We
it
used
since he
to.
was a kid.
Nah, just like when he got his new place, he got this, and then when we came down, we would just
Oh,
shoot on it.
okay.
So I
We
just
might need to build
keep
it
it
back
in
up a
here.
little bit, brother.
The kids done messed it up. They done came over here and pulled off the things and stuff, but
Wait, did he build that himself?
he bought it. Like you have to put it together. So I had to
Okay.
like look up the instructions to put it together and stuff. But
Interesting.
yeah, they jacked it up a little bit. But
Shout out to Big Rob.
like I say, it's sentimental. It's sentimental. I don't need much. Just I got his watch on. I wear it in my videos.
My
So I'm good.
eyes. My eyes.
Hey.
Oh, icy. Icy Boys
Ah.
Entertainment. Hey Sean, donate 40K, brother. I saw you talk about 40K. Go ahead, donate it to Patreon, brother. I'm a lifetime subscriber. I don't even know if you're here anymore.
Executive
Yo,
produce a documentary.
there you go. Go ahead and drop that 250 in there, brother.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. See you in the next video. I'm out. We out.
Peace.